Okay, I came prepared. We have Boons, we have his turtle, which he loves, and we have a Kong, which is empty. He likes it better when it's full of stuff. You have hiccups. It's time to film and you got hiccups. What do we think about that? Say, I got hiccups. I'm not ready. Hey guys, it's March 26th, 2018, and today Luca is 9 weeks old. It's his 9-week birthday. So it's time for a little update. Last week when we filmed, I couldn't get him to stay still in my lap. Today he's all about it because I came prepared with a bone. This is like one of his favorite things. It's disgusting. I don't even know what animal this came from. I'm assuming it's a cow, but he's really into it. So, do you want to say hi? Do you want to say, it's my birthday? I'm 9 weeks old. So I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update from last week until this week. We have had a pretty good week. I just weighed Luca and he weighs 17.9 pounds. So he's gaining weight all the time. I'll put below what he weighed last week. I feel like it was around 15 pounds or so, or 16. So he's growing a lot. He's almost doubled in size since we got him, which is crazy. We got him 2 weeks ago. So, 2.5 weeks ago, and he's almost doubled in size. You're growing so fast. He's so into this bone. It's so gross looking. Look. It's like disgusting. But, oh, here, the bone's back. Otherwise, it's been a fairly good week. We have been working on crate training, potty training, and both of those have gone really well. Last week I think I mentioned that he had just sort of started staying in his crate all night without crying, which was nice. And now he stays in his crate all night without any problems. Sometimes he does a little whine when he first goes in there, but he lays down, he has some toys in there, and he just kind of entertains himself throughout the night, which is great. I'm only having to get up once in the night to let him out. I'm going about 3.5 hours. I don't want him to have an accident, so I'm sort of preemptively letting him out. Sometimes I'm even waking him up to go out. I've read sort of conflicting views on that. Some people say you should just let them hold it and sort of cry to wake you up when it's time. But I don't really want to reinforce that, crying equals attention behavior. I don't know. I'm just happy I'm only having to let him out once per night. I thought at his age I'd have to be letting him out 2 or 3 times a night. So that's been going pretty well. Aside from that, as long as we're paying attention to him and letting him out frequently, he's not having accidents in the house, which is good. He's had little periodic accidents here and there, but it's been a lot better than I thought it would be. He knows that as soon as he's outside, it's time to go. He doesn't sort of wait around. He goes as soon as the door opens and he gets on grass, which is great. And it's really obvious when he has to go number 2. He starts running around, like tearing around, looking for a space. So that one is really easy to predict and let him out if I haven't already. When he has to pee, it comes on a lot quicker with pretty much no notice, and that's kind of how the accidents have happened, but there haven't been many. It's certainly not every day, and if I'm in control and on top of it, it doesn't happen at all. So we've been doing good. We went to our 3rd puppy kindergarten class yesterday, which was really good. It's a socialization class, so they spend a lot of time playing with other dogs, socializing with other dogs, and then they do work on some behaviors and some obedience stuff as well. He's been the little one in his class the whole time, and that's kind of been nice in a way because he gets a lot of added attention from the instructors and even from other dog parents. But this Sunday he was by far the smallest. All of the dogs in there are puppies. They're all under 5 months, I think, but he was in there with some fairly, ouch, that was a finger, some fairly large puppies. There was a Saint Bernard puppy in there. There were a couple of other dogs that were a little too energetic. They were a little too bitey, and he was pretty scared. So I didn't like that, and we worked on some behaviors. We were working on loose leash walking, which went well, but it was a lot of dogs, and it was during the playtime. He was pretty scared of most of the dogs, and that's exactly counterproductive to what I'm trying to do with socialization class. So we found a different class at a different time that has smaller dogs, and I think that'll be better for him, because the first week we had only had him for a few days when he went to class, and he was a little scared in the beginning, but then he played really well with the other dogs, and the second week he was great and had so much fun with playtime. But this time it was sort of a different group of dogs, and there were a couple pretty big ones, like I may have mentioned. There was a Saint Bernard or two, and then a couple dogs that were not very well behaved. One of them drew blood in one of the dog owners' faces, so that's not really the environment that I think is the best for him right now. So we'll try with the smaller dog class this next Sunday. It's a 7-week class. There was a free trial class and then 7 weeks more. So by the end of it, he should know 7 sort of basic commands like sit, stay, down, go to your bed, take it, leave it. There's like loose leash walking, and I'm not really sure what else, but primarily it's a socialization class. So that'll be class number 1 out of about 5 on the journey to becoming a therapy dog. So we've been doing really well. He's a great little guy. He really is. The puppy biting, oh man, we're working on it, but he has to bite everything. I won't even say everything, because he's not really biting furniture. He just wants to bite. And so we're redirecting with whatever we need to. He's really into the bone this week. But the socialization classes have been interesting for that too, because like last week after the socialization classes, when he was sort of playing with other puppies and learning like, oh, that kind of hurts when you bite hard, he stopped with the biting and he was doing a lot more licking, which was perfect. I don't really like being licked by dogs very much. I try to tell the Chihuahua not to lick me. She knows that command actually. But with him, I've read you should encourage licking rather than biting. And I was really impressed that it was almost like an instant change last week after class. This week, not so much, because like I said, it was kind of a different atmosphere in class. But we're working on it. I know it's normal. We're just trying to reinforce good behaviors, but also let him know you don't get to snap like that. And most of the time, he's just really good. He really is. We've had a lot of fun with him. I've been trying to get people to watch him during the day, so I've been doing some like in-home daycare with some people I found through Rover. I've had some great experiences with that. Today I had to leave him alone in the crate all day for the first time, which I wasn't happy about because I wanted to give me the bone at all costs. Ow, see, that was my wrist. Wrong bone. Where was I? So anyway, yeah, I've also been using WAG, and I just had people come throughout the day to let him out with WAG. Until he's 12 weeks old, he can't go to any sort of doggy daycare. And many of them make you wait until they're 16 weeks old and have had all of their vaccinations. So we're just trying to do our best right now with coverage, and it's a little expensive, but it's, you know, short term. I plan on taking him to daycare stuff frequently anyway until he's kind of out of puppy mode, because I want him to socialize as much as possible so that he'll be the best little therapy dog, right? We're getting like pieces of bone all over me, and it's pretty gross. What do you think? He's like, nope, I'm into it. That's about it. We have a vet visit tomorrow, another round of vaccines for the dog, and I think he's gonna get a microchip tomorrow too. And what else? I was gonna tell you about Austin. Austin, Texas, if you guys don't know, is very sort of hippie, very green, very like environmentally conscious, very fit city. Surprisingly, I thought, for Texas when I moved here. But people also have a whole lot of opinions about dogs, and they think you should only adopt from a shelter. And so I've already had plenty of people bitching at me about the fact that I got a purebred lab, when there are lots and lots of dogs waiting to be adopted out there. And it's amazing to me how freely people want to share their opinions about what others should do with their lives. He's freaked out by the camera. It's just a camera. It's just a camera. Here, do you want this? Do you want your turtle? So, I also had one woman, stranger, come up to me, kind of hostile the other day. telling me that I was a irresponsible pet owner because he's clearly not fully vaccinated yet and he should not even be touching the ground, and very aggressive, and there are diseases out there and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I know, I've read all of that. I have the same information you do. I also realize the importance of socialization. Dogs have been born for thousands and thousands of years, and I'm taking precautions. And this socialization aspect is really important, especially because I'm trying to get him to be a therapy dog. And she called me irresponsible and said there were nut jobs out there who don't vaccinate their kids, and the same thing happens with animals, and you just have to be vigilant. And I reminded her that I know that because I came from one of those nut job families that didn't vaccinate their kids, because I was one of them. And thank you very much, but I'm not really interested in her opinions. And then I've had other people bitching about the adopt, don't shop thing. And it's like, I hope you say that to your human friends too when they get pregnant, how irresponsible they are because there are kids that need to be adopted out there. Do you give the same spiel to people when they're having a human baby? And then I was like, actually what I hope is not that you point that out to humans, but that you mind your own goddamn business. So if you guys have any thoughts about those things, keep them to yourself, really. We're all doing what we think is best for ourselves. And trust me, I'm aware that there are pets that need to be adopted. He's the first pet I've ever had that I haven't adopted. So, you don't know me. Anyway, he is the best little guy. His eyes are different every week. They were kind of blue when we got him, and then they turned sort of greenish, really pretty green. And now they're a little bit more kind of hazily. His mom's eyes were real pretty amber, so I was hoping they would stay blue or green, but they're cute no matter what color they are. And I think that's it, guys. This has been kind of a long video. Last week he wouldn't sit still, so I was just kind of trying to cut it short. But do you have anything you want to add? Do you have anything you want to add? He says, I love this turtle. I just love it so much. I love it. And look how cute I am. Oh, thank you. Ouch. Yeah, see, still working on the puppy binding.